Hey, what's going on, guys? Battle Nations Emperor here, back today with another video. And today, guys, we have some more Battle Nations gameplay, and not just Battle Nations gameplay, but Battle Nations gameplay in a new base. This is the base of an NPC, and I'm not insulting somebody. This is literally an NPC's base. If you played the old Battle Nations and have a really good keen memory, you might remember this base as one of the bases Z2 made, pre-made, and then put on the map just for you to, be able to raid, occupy, and just, get some testing of what you do against a real player, but just on an AI who, of course, can't react and isn't as smart battle-wise as an actual person. So we're just going to have some of this gameplay in the background, going to be, editing this base a little, messing around with it, doing some stuff, and also talking about a discussion today, just having a discussion, if you guys will. Today's topic is going to be on the subject of limited edition units and limited edition units in the past of Battle Nations, how they're proposed to be coming up, and what they could be. So without any further ado, let's just jump right into it and first define exactly what are we talking about when we say limited edition units. When we say limited edition units in this context, what we mean is we're talking about the limited edition units of the old aircraft, if you will, from Boss Strikes, the old, adult animals you would get. I believe it was 2013, but actually in the animal trainer, in the old Battle Nations animal trainer, you could not train adult animals. You could train younglings of an animal and you could train their teenage version, but you could not get the full strong adult version that you fought in the wild all the time. However, for a one weekend, literally one weekend in 2013 or 2014, I believe it was 2013, could be wrong, but very early in Battle Nation's life cycle, point being, for one weekend you could train adult sandworms, adult boars, adult raptors, adult animals. And if you were on that weekend and you were willing to spend nanobuys, you could get as many adult mammoths, adult sandworms, adult raptors, adult boars as you wanted. And then you were the only player with them. If any new player came back, they just did not have the adult versions of the animals. You were the only one. So that's what I mean. And also the aircraft. As I'm sure you guys know, in the early stages of Ball Strikes, all those aircraft were not only new, but were all limited edition. So, a new Battle Nation Ball Strike would come out. It had three tiers, tier 3, tier 7, tier 6. Tier 3, tier 7, and tier 10, which all gave out, aircraft. And that aircraft was unique to that Ball Strike. So if you got it, congratulations, you have a limited edition aircraft. No one can ever get that again. And there's something very unique to that feeling, very special. A lot of people absolutely loved it. A lot of people absolutely despised it. First off, we'll go off with the counterance to it, if you will, the pessimistic view of it. A lot of players felt it gave an unfair advantage to older players, and also felt that it was unfair that newer players, no matter how hard they might be at the game, however much time they might put into the game, could never get those limited edition units, and they felt that would create a gap, play-wise between the older and newer players. And also they felt it just gave the older players kind of an inner circle, if you will, among themselves, to feel, cooler, if you will. And of course, the pro side of it would be a lot of people would argue that the limited edition troops in early on Battle Nations made Battle Nations what it was, one of the most memorable mobile games of the early 2010s. Um, Full clarity, I've said this in past videos, and I'll say it here just to make sure we're all on the same page. I am one of those people. I absolutely loved the old limited edition units in Battle Nations. I adored jumping on every week or every month to see what new limited edition units were dropped. At every single boss strike, I would go as hard as possible, ignoring my own health and other priorities, just to go absolutely ham on the boss strike, trying to get tier 10, because I knew, if I didn't get tier 10, that was the only time I could. And I was certainly in a try hard guild. All of us had requirements of what we would make, but we also did that to make sure we always got tier 10. And at least within that guild, of course, I'm sure that guild was super biased, everybody universally agreed it was one of the best aspects of Battle Nations. No other game even came close to their limited edition units. And also, it just felt unbelievably awesome to put all of that work in and to be rewarded with an aircraft that nobody else could get, a flying unit that was cool in and of itself. And then after that boss strike was over, a set number of people had that thing and nobody else could get it. That was a lost art, in my opinion, if you will. So before we get into the discussion of the future, let's quickly discuss how Madrona Games, the current developers of New Battle Nations, are planning on handling limited edition units. While they have not stated yet whether or not they will be approving or non-approving limited edition units going forward into the game's lifespan, We do know confirmation of 2 limited edition units right now. So there is confirmation, at least there will be 2 limited edition, truly limited edition units in the upcoming Battle Nations. Those 2 confirmed units are the Diamond Tank in Emperor tier on Patreon, the second highest tier on Patreon, and then the Mammoth tier for a Plasma Mammoth unit, the highest tier on Patreon. We do not know anything about these units besides their name. The Diamond Tank, we can kind of imply from its name, Diamond Tank, it's going to be similar to the Gold Tank. So just think something like maybe a Mega Tank, but of course, with the Diamond coating and limited edition, mainly just going to function as a trophy. And then Plasma Mammoth the exact same way, except it'll probably be a lot stronger. And also, it will be much, much more rare. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Diamond Tank's going to be rare too, because only people who are donating to the Patreon right now have an option to get either one. So both of them are going to be extremely rare. But the Plasma Mammoth, you have to donate 300 smackaroos to the Patreon, $300 dues. A big, big little bit for some people, especially in the economy today. But a big hit. While the Emperor Teal, it's still a good bit, $50. So a $50 donation will get you a Diamond Tank. A $300 donation will get you Plasma Mammoths. So both of them are going to be very exclusive on launch. Both of them are going to make excellent trophies, and the Plasma Mammoth especially is going to be a sign to, I guess everybody else of, how cool you are pretty much, and, how much, you love Battle Nations. You were there donating for the game. So we do know the confirmation of those 2 limited edition units. We do not know of anything else, whether or not they will be, approved, disapproved. But my one request, my simple and only request really, for this video at least, is that please, 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 that Madrona Games confirms before the game, really gets into production, before the game goes, really live, whether or not we will be having limited edition units. Because in my opinion, the biggest thing that killed Battle Nations was the buyout by Z2, in my opinion. But I don't think they, really could have stopped that, because, that was just a corporate decision. It's money, it's capitalism, understandable. However, the thing Z2 did that I feel killed Battle Nations, that, is their fault, is the complete abandonment of limited edition units. I mean, seriously, so many of these units were released on the concept of, hey, they are limited edition, they are nanopods, but this is the one time you can get them. Aircraft were even worse, because they were literally advertised in the promos as exclusive aircraft, exclusive limited edition aircraft, the one time you can get them. And it just kind of became insulting when, you saw secret vault after secret vault saying, hey, here's, those previous limited edition units. And sometimes they were even cheaper. I mean, seriously, there were several cases where previous limited edition units that were 70, 80 nanopods were being re-released for 40, sometimes 50 nanopods, a very steep discount. So it's like, not only are you giving the newer players it, but you're also giving them to a discount. So the OGs not only lost their, veterancy or the coolness of their units, but they also had to pay more for back in the day. It's just, it was a real, mess, if you ask me. It just felt very unfair to some of those veterans. I was, of course, a little bit ticked off about some of my limited edition units being reused, but some of my guildmates, it actually destroyed the game for them, genuinely. I was not a pro player ever myself, unfortunately, but I had the pleasure of talking with a lot of players and interacting with a lot of pro players, and a lot of them who had spent hundreds, in some cases even thousands of real-life dollars on the game, they felt that when Battle Nations, started releasing, the limited edition vaults, and then every boss strike went from, including new aircraft that was limited edition to just recycling old aircraft and, messing with the players who had earned it before. That destroyed the game for a lot of people. A lot of people, at least the veterans I talked to, they were like, what's the point of even collecting? Part of the joy for me was, getting these limited edition units, having fun, and they're not limited edition anymore. Anybody can get them. And a lot of them checked out right then and there. So while I truly think King is the one who really put the nail in the coffin for old Battle Nations, I truly think if there's any blame to be put on Z2, the actual old Battle Nations team, that would be the only thing. I'm sure you could definitely make the argument it was a money thing. They were in simple need of funds, and that was the best way to get those funds. I mean, seriously, they just, could not make the money. And that's fair, but I feel that is a very short-sighted thought process, in my opinion. I mean, that's basically saying, okay, we don't believe, the game's doing well right now. We need money. Let's, let's mess with, our most dedicated and loyal fans, and, ruin their limited edition units. It just felt kind of, icky, in my opinion. But yeah, just wanted to have this quick fireside discussion, even though there's no fireside Battle Nations side discussion, Battle Nations game discussion. I guess we can call it something like that. I'll fix it in the title. But yeah, by all means, guys, please drop a comment down below telling me what your opinion is on this. Do you think that we should bring back limited edition units and have it be like the old Battle Nation was, where these units were one time only limited edition, you got them, cool. If not, you didn't. Or are you of the opinion that that did ruin the game a little bit? It kind of messed up the vibe, and that in your opinion it should be just the two already confirmed, the tank, a diamond tank and plasma units for the Patreons who have already donated the money and been told that, and then after that everything's not limited edition. Would love to get a conversation going with you guys in the comments down below. I'll try to reply to as many comments as I can that I see. And that will truly just about do it for us today, guys. Again, leave a comment down below stating your opinion on that. Tell me if you liked today's video, if you liked the Battle Nations gameplay, if you'd like to see anything particular in the future. And that will actually do it for us today. Please drop a like down below if you liked this video, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And without any further ado, thank you very much for watching, and as always, have a great rest of your day.